Like literally, like it's like one of the dreams come true, especially for an immigrant like me that's only been here 7 years. I would have never thought, like 7 years ago when I first like put a foot in like Arizona, I would have never thought to drive the car that I drive and go to school and like just people stare at you. I love the attention. So like I'm really proud of that, like. And then like when I first got it, I remember when I first got it, like I'm Hispanic. There would be people asking me, "Is that a narco or what?" And I'm like, "No, I'm like I just work for my car."
Gabriel, thanks so much for coming. Truly appreciate your support to the
Thanks for
Moneymalistic.
inviting me.
So let's just get started. So how old are you?
I'm 21.
21. It's a great age, man, honestly. And where are you from?
I'm from Quito, Ecuador.
Man, nice. That's awesome. How long have you been living in Arizona?
A little over 7 years.
7 years. And what is your favorite thing about Arizona?
I love the heat.
Really?
Yeah, I come from the mountains in Ecuador, and it's a little colder. Not too cold, but I love the heat from Arizona.
That's great. I mean, a lot of people actually think that the heat in here, it's quite obnoxious, from time to time. A lot of people feel that.
They hate it, I know. It's crazy.
And I mean, I think it is a dry heat, it's definitely way different than when you're in Texas or Florida, it's a different type of heat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. That's great that you like, the weather overall. So tell me, what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a very busy guy, to be honest with you. I literally have 3 jobs. I work at Dutch Bros, and then I'm also a realtor with Next Home Realty, and then I sell pools with my dad on the side. So I'm busy, and then I also go to school, so
Full-time
student for classes. Yeah.
Oh my God, how do you even manage to do all that?
Oh, running on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep sometimes now sometimes literally working every day. It's just crazy.
All right, so let's go over your jobs. So you mentioned you have 3 of them.
Yeah.
You're a realtor, you work with your dad in a pool company, and then you also work at Dutch Bros.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing them for?
Dutch Bros for about 3 years. It was supposed to be my summertime job, but of 2020, COVID. But I stay there. I really like it, to be honest with you. And then the other 2 jobs, I would say I started both of them around the same time. So not even a year, probably like 6 or 7 months for both of them.
What is your favorite thing about each one of them?
Okay, Dutch Bros, I love my coworkers and just, like the environment. Like it's just like young people. Like we all talk about the same stuff. Super chill. It's like literally like the way that my boss tells me sometimes. You just make drinks, laugh, and make money. And it's not bad money, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Pretty solid. And then my realtor job, I like it because I help people. Like literally, like it's rewarding in 2 ways. Like, yeah, it's good money, but literally like that like feeling that you get when you help somebody either sell their house or buy a house, it's different. And then I'll be honest with you, the pool job, I really do like it. But I think the reason why I like it is because I work with my dad. And I've gotten super close with my dad just because I work together, like driving around, going to like the free estimate appointments, closing deals. So it's fun. It's fun working with your dad.
That's great. So, I mean, I know that Dutch Bros pretty much is like you said, you have a lot of fun. There's people that are the same age as you.
Yeah.
Just make drinks, make money. That's a great way to put it,
Yeah.
What about the other 2? When you're a realtor and the pool company, what are some of the challenges that you face?
Cool. I would say that every like person has a different like case scenario. I would say, like the pool, for example. Let's go with that one. Some people are on a budget. Some people are not. They can spend as much as they want. They can do whatever they want to their backyard. Other people in the same like pool area, they need to finance. So like, you kind of like try to like cut down the price as much as possible to help them out. Because at the end of the day, like if you want, like, like people want a pool not because, they just want to have like something cool at their house. But I think that most people put up a pool because they want to, have that to spend some time with their family, have people over, so it's kind of like, we like to help them out. So yeah, it's challenging because sometimes, for example, I give you an estimate for 55,000. You're like, you know what? I only got 50. Can you match that? And like, there's times when you can. So you're like, you know what? I can do 52. And then there will be people that say, yeah, let's do it. People that say, no, sorry, like 50 is the limit. And then the realtor job, I would say that one's the most challenging one, just because I'm not the only one involved in it. Like if I'm on the buyer side, I need to see how much they pre-qual for, and then people need to like the clients, they need to like watch out like how they use their credit cards or just like their money overall. Like they cannot spend any money literally during the process, and if they do so, then it might mess up the whole transaction. So I would say that's the most challenging one, just because it's not only on my end, everyone's involved in it.
So many moving pieces.
Yeah.
As you don't have overall control for it. So,
Exactly.
and yeah. Now, what social class were you growing up?
So like I mentioned, I'm from Ecuador. I lived there 14 years. I moved over here when I was a freshman in high school. I would say I was in between middle class and the higher upper class, just because I was in a private school. Well, me and my brother, we were both in a private school. We lived in a very good community. It's called Cumbaya in Ecuador. If you look it up, it's probably like the fourth or fifth richest city in the country. My parents had their own company. Even though it was just my mom and my dad at home, me and my brother, we were little. They had 4 cars, and then my grandma, she has a ranch. I would say that ranch is around 40 to 50 acres at least. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. And we had all sorts of products. We got, bananas, yuca, papaya, oranges, lemon, corn. We have a bunch of stuff over there and animals. So, it's great. I had a good life. Not gonna lie to you. It was great.
Nice. Were there any challenges growing up with money at all?
No, but I could see that, like, technically no, because my parents, they put like, the way that they raised me, like, they always like tell me about values and like to respect people. Like literally, like in my opinion, like money does not like say who you are as a person. Like that's just like a tool to make your life a little easier, if anything, right? It does not like determine something. So I think that because the way that my parents have raised me, and because they're not super strict with me, they have been a little strict, but I have had no issues. But I have seen, people that had issues without money. Like as I mentioned to you in the ranch that my grandma has, we got workers, people working there, and they're unfortunately, very, very poor people from the farms, So I can see, like that people that don't have a lot of money, unfortunately, like they face a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, I think it's a good thing you got to see that. And I have to say, like, you seem like an extremely humble person. So that is a great thing to to have and to be like that. So now, would your family talk about money in general?
Not necessarily. Like, when we get together, like with family and stuff like that, not really. We like to talk about like memories or like trips or like, just things that we've done in family, like all of us together. I would say the only time we really talk about money are like when my school tuition is about to come up, because I have to pay for it, and it's $6,000, every semester. So it is $6,000. Or, for example, when we were in the process of buying a house, or me and my mom, we love looking at houses like on the internet. So that's when we talk about money, or when I talk about cars with my dad. But like in like a family reunion, not really, to be honest with you. Like I would say like 2 or 3 out of the 10 conversations that we have are about money.
I think that's great. It's mostly about when it's needed, not all the time. So that's great. That's great. Do you recall your first interaction with money?
Well, like I've always had like, like little birthday gifts, like here you go, $10, $20. I don't really count that. I would say the first interaction with money was when I started working here when I was 16. I got hired at my friend, her aunt had a Mexican restaurant. It's called Los Agaves. It's in Continental. It's really good. You should check it out for sure. When I got the first night that I worked there, because, as a busboy or a server, you get tips. So the first night that I worked there, I remember walking in there and I had no idea what I was doing. They were telling me like, take this Coke to table 4. And I'm like, where the hell is table 4 and all this? So I was like totally lost. And, like I had never worked in my life before, and I was so brand new to this country. So I was like still thinking, I'm like in my country, I would have probably never had to work because my parents were like well situated, But then after that, I was over, and it was a little challenging for me. I had like, I think I got like either 70 or $80 on tips or on cash. I was like, no way. I was like, I was just here not even 5 hours, and I got this much on tips. I'm like, if I work here like 4 or even 3 days a week because I was in like, high school at the time. I'm like, that's easy 200 a week. I'm like, I like it. So, it just pushed me to work harder and get more.
It's kind of cool how you were able to see like your opportunity costs, like, okay, if I'm only giving 4 or 5 hours, this is how much I can make, this is how much I can make on a week, even in a month. So
Yeah.
really, really good. Now, what is the best financial advice you've ever received, and who gave you that advice?
I've had two really, really good that I really appreciate, and I've, put them to use. The first one is my dad. My dad has always told me, work hard, but don't overdo yourself. And at the same time, if you work hard and, you're seeing that you're making more, treat yourself good. Like, don't ever forget to treat yourself good. Because, like, at the end of the day, you're working not only to save money, but also to have a better lifestyle. So, like, for example, like, I drive a, like, pretty expensive car. And I'm barely 21. A lot of people that are my age, they probably think that I'm stupid. But I do work hard. I have 3 jobs and I go to school. And let me tell you that every time I get in my car and I start it up, I can say that I enjoy driving it. Like, it's something that I love driving it. And that's my dad's advice. Like, if you work hard, don't ever forget to treat yourself good, And then the other one is from my really good friend, who's told me, like, don't, give yourself, like some free time to, like, do stuff and, like, take care of you and stuff like that. But, like, don't stop working. Don't stop, like, chasing your dreams. And also, like, try to invest the money as much as you can, like, and, like, smart decisions. Make smart decisions. At the end of the day, like, for example, like, I was talking to him because he loves cars and I love cars. And I was telling him, hey, I want to trade my car in. I don't pay a lot for my car. It's $800. For the car that I drive, it's like $800 a month. It's not too bad.
What do you drive right now?
I drive a Porsche Cayman 2019. The Cayman S, it's beautiful. And, for that type of car, it's not a lot, 800. So I pay, like, really, like, low payments. And I was, like, looking into trade for another car. It was about to be, like, twice as much, like 1,600. He's like, man, it's not like you drive, like a shit box, literally. Keep your car, invest your money. And I have, been doing that. So I really appreciate it for that advice. Like, later on, I might even be able to buy a car all cash and not make any payments.
What were you looking to get?
A 911 Carrera. I just like Porsches. Like, I love European cars.
I love them. Big upgrade, man.
Huge upgrade, but I'm not ready for like $130,000 car yet. It's a lot. I'm like I said, I'm really 21, just starting. So the goal is to hopefully buy it in cash one day.
I like how you're like pacing yourself. You know your limits, so that's really good. Now, what is the worst financial advice you've ever received, and who gave you that advice?
People say, and even your parents, that your friends will always give you the worst advice, and it's kind of true. I'm young, 21, and then there's times when my friends have been like, yo, let's go out, let's do this. And I tell them I work in the morning, I can't. And then they go like, nah, just call out, it's cool, you got sick hours. And I do have sick hours because I never call out. I tell them, oh, like, I would be losing my tips because, I get paid hourly. And even if I call out, I get paid for those hours. But then where do my tips go?
It was a big percentage then.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I do average like at least $7 to $10 an hour in tips on Dutch, which is not bad. Like, if you think about it, you work 7 hours, that's easy, at least $60 at least.
Plus
whatever you get paid hourly.
Wow. Nice. Perfect. Do you have any other bad advice, or that's the only one that you got?
Pretty much. Or like, I tell my friends, what I do, and like, they're really proud of me, I tell them like, yeah, I'm doing this. They're like, wow, you should be making a lot. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why don't you buy this? And I'm like, no, like, I don't like let like people tell me what to do or, what to like buy. Like, I just like do what I want, like, for example, like, I like to buy expensive stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I would never buy like a designer shirt for 2 reasons. One, it's a shirt, like shirts, they don't last that long. And two, when my mom does the laundry, I know, like, and it's happened a lot of times when she bleaches stuff by accident. And imagine like buying like a $500 shirt and then only wearing it like once or twice and then that's it. No, I'm like, never that.
Returning to a tie-dye shirt.
Never. Imagine.
Um, what is the best financial decision you've ever made?
My car.
Definitely.
Definitely my car. Like I said, it's something I love driving. And I don't like between like gas, insurance, and the car payments, probably spend like 1,100 to 1,200 on the crazy month between gas, insurance, and car payments. And I don't see it as like, okay, it's like 1,200. And I like literally like it's like one of the dreams come true, especially for an immigrant like me that's only been here 7 years. I would have never thought, like 7 years ago when I first like put a foot in like Arizona, I would have never thought to drive the car that I drive and go to school and like just people stare at you. I love the attention. So like I'm really proud of that, like. And then like when I first got it, I remember when I first got it, like I'm Hispanic. There would be people asking me, "Is that a narco or what?" And I'm like, "No, I just work for my car," you know.
Yeah, like, I guess you're right. Especially like if someone like asks you like, "Oh, where do you work?" And then you're like, "Oh, I work at Dutch Bros." And then they see that car and you're like, "Hey, something doesn't match, but you have two other jobs."
And I live at home.
Oh, perfect.
I don't pay for rent, So like literally, my bills are just like whatever I spend on my credit cards, insurance, gas, phone bill, and my car payment.
That's good. Any other good financial decisions you've ever?
My shoes, like even though they're expensive, like I do love like buying like expensive shoes. Like the most expensive pair of shoes that I bought was like it was like 1,600. Like, like I love wearing them, and like once again, people always like compliment my shoes. There's not been a day when people don't compliment my shoes because I literally wear different shoes every day. But I see it as like one day like I'm really like down bad and I really need money. I might not get the whole 1,600 back, but I can for sure at least get like 700 or 800, which 700 or 800 is $700 or $800.
Oh, yeah,
End of the
definitely.
day.
I guess you see them like as quote unquote investment. I mean, you're not gonna get everything back.
But sort of like an investment, yeah. Like it's just like money like sitting there, instead of like I see it as like money sitting there, and like I buy it and I might use in the future, rather than having it in like my account or like having it with me, and like like spending it like on stupid stuff, So I'd rather do that.
Like, let's see, if you say that you wear a different pair of sneakers every single day, how many pairs do you have? Like, how much have you spent overall?
My shoe collection, I was adding up the price. It's over the 5 figures, at least like 14, maybe 13,500, like anywhere around there.
Hey, if that's what you like, I think that's, the most important thing. I like how you say that, hey, maybe for a lot of people, a car is not the best investment, but you enjoy the moment that you get in there, that you turn it on. So that's great. I mean, a lot of other people would see like, hey, you can do so much money, like traveling or, investing it. But I like that you're like very set on exactly what you're looking for at this point in time.
Yeah. It's because the crazy thing, and this might sound weird, I like traveling. Don't get me wrong. Like literally like 2 months ago, we went to Florida. I love traveling. But for some reason, I do love my life where I live. So like, I don't really like focus on traveling. Like, I try to like live very comfortable and like have a really good lifestyle, rather than traveling. Like, like from where I come from to where I live now, it's been a huge, huge upgrade. So I'm kind of like in love, like in the place that I am right now.
Where have you gone, traveling wise?
I've been to, let's see. Well, I've been all over the States, like literally from like California to Florida, and then Florida to New York. I've been to all those states. I've been to Washington State, Hawaii, the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Ecuador. Panama. I've been to Panama. Yeah, yeah. That's about it. I really want to go to Europe. I've been to Europe, but I was a 6-month-old baby, so I don't really count that. I don't remember.
Or in the belly.
But I do. No, like I was actually like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, no, I don't count that. I do want to go to Europe one day, and I got family there, so it wouldn't be too much. Just a plane ticket and the food.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's awesome, man. So now, what is the worst financial decision you've ever made?
The worst financial decision that I've ever made. Ooh. Probably to upgrade my phone every year. When I first started working, I wanted to have like everything like brand new, and like I would get like, for example, like I started off with the iPhone 10, and the next year iPhone 10s, then 11 Pro Max, 12 Pro Max, 13, 14, And to be honest, the only big difference that I've seen is from the 10 to the one that I have right now. Which honestly, I could have probably still had the 10 right now. It would be a good phone. It's still working. But right now I have the 14 Pro Max. Probably not going to get it for the 15 Pro Max. It's in great condition. That's it. Same thing with like AirPods. I literally would get, I have, well, I got like 3 pairs of headphones at home. I got the AirPods Pro Max, the AirPods Pro, and some Beats. And to be honest with you, I only use the big ones and the little AirPods. I want to sell the Beats because I don't even use them. I'll probably give them to my dad, but you know, like I would say like with like technological stuff, you know, like phones, headphones, smartwatches, iPads, like computers, whatever that is, they're lasting for at least like 4 to 5 years. No need to like trade them in and like get a new one every year, you know?
So you were switching your phone every single year.
Every single year.
And during that time, you know, it kind of looked like a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, did you realize that like, oh, wait, you know, maybe I could do something better with that money?
Literally recently, like around like March or April, when I started like working, and I heard that advice from my friend, you know, like if the thing that you have, you know, like the material thing that you have, if it still works fine, don't trade it in, like, you know, use it for as long as it lasts, invest your money. So that's what I realized. I'm like, you know what? He's right. And trust me, he is right because he's got a very successful life.
Nice. Maybe we might be able to get an interview with him later.
Hopefully.
All right. So how would you describe your relationship with money?
For some reason, it always comes my way. Like you ask any of my friends, family members, and they all know that, you know, thanks to God, of course, like I'm very like, you know, I always think that my life is good because I always like, you know, I always like talk to him. Like I pray like in the morning, at night. So it always comes my way. A lot of people tell me like when they think of me, they think of money because they always see like, you know, that Gabriel's doing good in life. And, you know, it's all thanks to God, not only me and my family that made sacrifices for me. But like, there's not been a, you know, like a day when I'm like, when I have like, for example, like $5 in my bank account or anything like that. No, I've always had, you know, like enough to like pay my bills and like to save up. And then it's always come my way. But I think it's also because, you know, I try to work as hard as I can. I do good stuff for people. I always try to help out. So I think that it all depends on like what kind of person you are, you know, like if you do good things, most likely when good things will happen to you, you know? So I just try to be a good person as much as I can.
Yeah. I can see that you're very like family oriented person, so that's great. Are you comfortable with your current financial situation?
I love it. I love it. Literally, like, technically, I can live off from one of my jobs, like, and, you know, like, pay everything with that one. And then the other 2 that I have, I just see that as, like, my investment money / like, money that I'm saving up for the future for whatever it is. So I'm really happy and, you know, I've bought stuff that I never thought that I would at 21. So I'm really, like, proud of myself and like comfortable where I'm at right now.
That's great, man. If you could go back in time and change one financial decision, which one would it be and why?
Well, when I bought my first car when I was 17, it was a Ford Mustang, my dream car at the time. But a year and a half later, when my parents were buying their car, they bought a BMW. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? I was like, BMW does sound cool to have. Don't get me wrong. I love the car. I really like the BMW, but the Mustang was, you know, sometimes when I would drive the BMW, I was like, you know what? I was like, I do miss the Mustang, you know. And I was like, it was in great shape. I bought it in 2018, and the car was a 2018. So, like, pretty much, like, still new, you know. So there was, like, really no reason to trade it in. But it was a bad decision, but at the same time, a good one financially because I got it for, like, 25,000. And well, that was the price, but then I had traded in my Mustang, which was almost paid off. I almost sold like 7,000 on it, almost nothing, you know. So they gave me money for it, and then the car came out to like 18 or 19 grand. The Beamer had it for a year and a half, no, literally a year and 2 months. And then I traded in for the car that I have in right now. But when I traded in, they gave me 36,000 for the car, so it was a good investment. Speaking about like from the financial side, like how I felt about it, I didn't really like think it was the smart decision, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I think you learn from that, if you want to call it like a mistake or about to, you know, because right now you were thinking of trading your car. So that's good, you know.
Yeah, and that too, that really got me thinking. I'm like, you know, it's like I drive a nice car and everything, and I just got some maintenance done to it. I'm like, why would I trade it in if it's running just fine.
That's great. Alrighty, so we're gonna go over our would you rather section.
Perfect.
What you're gonna do is that I'm gonna give you this little bucket and go ahead and grab it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Then you're fine. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna have to grab one piece of paper at a time. You'll show it to the camera to see what number you got, and then I'm gonna read you a question. And then once you're done, you can just place it to your side, on the floor.
Okay.
So we're gonna be doing 5 of those would you rather questions. Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Let's see. This one. This one's the one. I got 21.
21. Hey, you like your age.
Yeah.
All right. So Gabriel, would you rather receive your whole pay for the year at once or get paid bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly,
Really?
for sure. Bi-weekly. I think that if I got all the money at once, I would just not only spend it, but I would be like, okay, I'm chilling. I got all my money, for the year. And then it would make me lazy. When I get bi-weekly, like I see it as my paychecks, like if I can work more, for that certain paycheck or for those 2 weeks, then great, it like pushes me to make more.
Yeah.
So bi-weekly for sure.
Perfect. All right, let's go over the second one.
Let's see. 28.
28. Would you rather borrow money from your parents at a 0% rate or get a loan from the bank at a 5.99 rate?
I know my parents will always like lend me money if I need to. So my parents for sure. I honestly, to be honest with you, I have probably asked them to like let me borrow like $400, nothing crazy, but never like a crazy amount. I would always like to work for my stuff, but my parents, one, like from the family that I come from and everything, I know they would probably not even like ask me to pay them back. So my parents for sure.
Awesome, man. That's great. Yeah, I mean, like throughout the entire interview, I can tell that you have a strong bond with your family. You guys help each other out. That's awesome. All right, let's go with the third one.
Let's see. 13.
13. Would you rather come from a rich family and have parents who don't love you, or come from a poor family and have parents who do love you?
Poor family. I have parents that do love you. For sure. Like, at one point in time, that rich family started out being poor. And somehow they got rich. Like, I've seen a lot of stories from poor people that end up being rich. But, I think that money does not buy you everything. I have friends that have literally like 3 times the things that I have. But they hardly ever talk to their parents. They're always by themselves, trying to hang out with friends because they don't have people to talk to. On the other hand, me, I work a lot more than they do. But literally every night that I come home, the 4 of us get together, like we talk, how was your day and everything. So for sure, I'll pick the love of my family over the money any day of the week.
Excellent. Great question. And great answer as well. So let's go with the fourth one.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's see. 27.
27. Yeah, we're getting a lot of 20.
A lot of 20s, yeah.
All right. I think this one's going to be quite tricky for you. Would you rather own 10 investment properties in the same town you currently live, or have 5 vacation rentals all over the world?
That is a tough one. Honestly, probably the 10 properties in the town, just because I could manage them easier. They're closer to me, But at the same time, if you have money to buy like 5 properties all around the world, that means you have money to like go whenever you want to check on them, or have somebody like look after them for you. So, but I will still keep the 10 properties around me. Yeah.
Good way to look at it. You're right. You can just manage them easier and maybe use that cash to go and travel around the world.
Exactly.
All right, let's go with the last one then. One more to go.
Hopefully not another 20. Let's see. Oh my God, 26 literally.
All right. Would you rather have a bank account for every single financial goal, or have one bank account that holds everything?
One. Currently, I don't even have a savings account.
No. Wow.
I only have a check-ins account, and like my check-ins, literally it holds, well, not everything, but I do try to. It's never like, trust me, it's never under 4,000. It's never under 4,000 my check-ins, and then all my money. And I know this might sound weird and traditional. I bought a safe at home. I have it just sitting there in cash.
Man,
All my savings.
that's crazy. I would have never thought that. I mean, Yeah, I was not expecting it. I felt like you did have like, separate accounts and all that.
I have I have 4 credit cards. I do have like like credit accounts, but like I only have one checking account with Wells Fargo, and that's it. Like literally, like I think I do that because if I had a savings account and I was, like I said, like down bad in money, I would just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna transfer like this much. I'll put it back in later. Well, if I have cash, like at home, I get lazy if I want to go to the ATM and put it in there. So I just like work harder and somehow, try to pay the bills.
Is your money on your safe like your tip money most of the time?
So my tip money, here's how I see it. Like I started my week on Monday, and then it ends on Sunday, right? Like a regular week. And then all the tips, I like deposit them at the other week. So literally what I have, like I said, I live with one job, which is Dutch was like more than comfortable. Like that's all I need pretty much. And I could like still like save like a couple hundred, maybe like 300 or 400, after paying everything. But then my other jobs, which are commission, I go cash out my checks and put it in there.
Nice, nice. Very good, man. So now we're going to go over our what do you think section. This one is more about opinions and thoughts on money. So same thing as the previous one. We're just going to go ahead and pull 5 pieces of paper, and now let's see what you get.
Got it. Let's see. 22.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry, there you go.
No, you're fine. Does money buy happiness?
In a way. In a way. Like, if you think about it, you need money for everything. You want to go out with your girlfriend, you got to pay with money. You want to go on a trip with your family, you got to pay with money. And, like, when you go on trips, where do you go? Because you're going to have fun, right? So, in a way, it helps you get to happiness. But not necessarily. I don't think it fully buys happiness. Once again, I have friends that have, like, a lot of money and stuff like that, and they're not fully happy because they don't have the love of their family. So, I think that it's a tool, or, like, it helps you like make your life easier, but not necessarily happy.
Excellent. I love that answer. And honestly, I do look at it the same way. It is a tool.
Yeah.
Helps you get to where you want to. All right.
Let's go with the next one.
One more. Let's go for the next one.
8.
8. That's my favorite number.
All right.
What would you consider a good emergency fund?
At least 20,000. At least 20,000. I see it like that because, well, one, if you don't have insurance and you need to go to the hospital, that bill is gonna be very, very expensive. That could be one case. My car, for example, when I had to get new tires and new brakes, that was 4,000, right, like that, and it kind of hurt me. I never thought it was gonna be that much, but I think like anywhere from like probably 18 to 20,000. And it's a good like emergency fund to have for sure.
Perfect. The majority of the people look at it as like, okay, this is how much money I make on a monthly basis, and then times a specific amount of months. But I like how you see it. Like, if something happens to me, I have to go to the hospital. I mean, not a lot of people think about that. So nice. All right, let's go over the next one then.
Yes, sir. Let's see. You know what? Before I opened it, I was like, please be 19, and I opened it and it's 19. My favorite number.
There you go.
The day that I was born.
What percentage of our check should we put into savings every month?
I think anywhere from like 15 to 20%.
15 to 20.
Yeah. Like I see it like between all my bills and everything, probably have to pay like 1,800. Because I have subscriptions like Apple Music, Mr. Car Wash, my insurance, and then I help my parents by paying for my brother's music as well. It's like I think like after everything, like just like bills, 1,800 is what I pay, and then I do have a budget of like no more than 250 a month to go out with my girlfriend to like wherever. I actually have a credit card just to go out with her. So I'm like, once that thing is at 250, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm like, your turn to pay, And then like the rest of it, I just save up.
I think like if we go back to our previous question on like, would you rather have like multiple accounts or just one? And for you, it's like
my credit card,
multiple credit cards. Yeah,
that's why I have 5. Yeah, and like I use credit cards because I see them rewarding. Like, like I have like one that gives me miles, I've redeemed like 5 or 6 plane tickets so far with it, and I've had it for not even 2 years. And I have the one from Wells Fargo that gives me cashback. I've almost redeemed $1,000 in cashback, so I just paid the whole balance off. That I can guarantee I have no debt, because even if I use like the whole limit of my credit card, I do whatever it takes to like pay it off. I hate having like, like debt like that.
Ah, you're like pretty much a credit card expert then. Which one is your favorite one?
The Amex, just because I get to have fun. Like, I took my whole family to Hawaii with that credit card. When I went to Florida, I used it for my ticket and my brother's ticket. I went to Seattle in first class for free, literally with $12 just for the fee that you have to pay. So my favorite one for sure.
Nice, man, nice. All right, let's go with the fourth one then.
All right. Okay, let's see. 1.
There you go. Oh, this is a perfect question for you. Are credit cards good or bad?
They're good. I love them. And they're good if you know how to use them. There's people that like, they get a credit card and they don't know how a credit card works, and they think that the bank just gives you a card and they're gonna pay for it. No. I have friends that just pay the minimum, and they're like, man, I swear, like my balance is still the same. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you pay the minimum, you might pay that thing up in like 3 or 4 years, like be smart about it. I think you just have to be smart about it. They're rewarding. That's why I like using them, because if you use a debit card, you just pay and that's it. You didn't get a reward. But like I said, I use either my cashback or my miles, and then I pay it off. I purchase whatever I had to buy, and I get rewarded for it. That's how I see it.
This was a perfect question for you, man.
I liked it.
Let's go with the last one then.
Let's see. My favorite number, 10.
10.
Yes.
Should we talk about how much money we make?
I think there's like a place and time to like talk about that, like I think that if you're with friends, maybe, because like, when you're friends, you're like, oh yeah, I bought this. Oh really? How much do you make to like afford that, But like, for example, somebody that I never talk about money with are my grandparents. Like, I'd rather talk about like, like family. I ask them to tell me memories, or like just like advice, or like, just like stuff like that. I have never talked about money with my grandparents. I have, like when it was my birthday and stuff like that when I was little, I've asked them to like buy me stuff, but like necessarily not money with them. So, and that's where income comes in, like I talk about like how much I make and stuff like that with friends, my parents sometimes, my brother a lot, because he's my little brother, and I see that like he looks up to me, so he needs to at least be where I'm at my age, like he's my age, or even more successful.
I guess like for you feel like you're his mentor, he's your mentee, and
I have
after you.
I have to like, I think I really do like play a big role in my brother's life. Like, he's barely 16 and he just bought his first car, he not really proud of that kid. He bought a 2022 BMW 430i. The crazy part is that he's been working since he was 14 and a half, because I got him a job, and he put down like $15,000. So his payments are like $300 a month, or I think they're less, which honestly for that car, $300 a month, it's good. And once again, like I do like think it was a good thing for him to buy that, because people that are 16, what do they do with their money? They literally waste it. And then I rather have him like drive a nice car. Yes, like if you want to see it as like wasting, yeah, like wasting your money on like a nice car, but at least it's a car that's you're gonna use it, you're gonna enjoy it. While if you like just spending on food, clothes, and like it comes out to like $300 a month, and you drive like not something nice, then what are you doing with your money? Of course, everybody has like a different like point of view about it, but I would see myself as my brother's mentor. And like same thing, he also has like his little shoe collection. He's got like 2 or 3 pairs so far, but he's not gonna buy any more because we're the same shoe size. So every morning before he goes to school, he goes say hi to me. He grabs a pair of my shoes. So I'm like, I don't care. He's my brother,
Oh yeah. With that in mind, given the fact that you see yourself as a mentor to your brother, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Do you have any final thoughts?
Honestly, the only thing that I can tell people are like, you know, if you want something, work for it. And one thing that I saw it on the internet, I think it was TikTok. If you see yourself with it or in it, then it's a sign that you need to go get it. Like literally, like when I was buying my car, like the Porsche, I had seen like 2 weeks before, you know, on Car Gurus, and like I would just close my eyes and like I would see myself like holding that steering wheel, and then when I bought it, I just thought it wasn't real. I was like, I bought it when I was 19. I was like, never would have thought that, you know, me before hitting my 20s, I was gonna be driving that car. So I do think that if you can see yourself in it, if you dream about it, go get it. Everything is doable. There's a solution for everything. The only thing that can be solved, it's when the time, you know, comes for you to go.
Gabriel, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate it. Hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please support the channel by subscribing, commenting, and liking the video. The question of the day is the following. Let me know your opinions, thoughts, comments, and constructive criticism in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next video.